Thank you, Madam Chair. You know, I've only been involved in this process for a couple of years or so, 2.5 years. And I'm very limited in my political experience, so please forgive my direct candor about your statements. But your statements are without merit, and you're trying to rehash crap that was hashed over 3 years ago. The statements from Arlington about our involvement was articulated in a letter form from my predecessor to the RTC in January of 21. And I suggest that maybe you pull that up and look at Arlington's involvement, because Arlington contributes significantly. Just because we don't agree to come in and pay for DART or T at this time to participate in something like that doesn't mean that we don't contribute to what's going on here. And I really take objection to the attempt to turn what I perceive to be a very simple issue here into something more that was already discussed ad nauseum years ago. So rather than burden this panel's time with those type of things, maybe we should be prepared more fully before we open our mouth.
Next. Yeah.
I don't have anything additional to say. I'm City Council Arlington.
Thank you. Elizabeth Begg, Fort Worth City Council. I have one question to address something that was brought up about the TRE already existing. Is this a different style or type of engineering for this to accommodate the high-speed nature of
I think it was 48 options we started with at the direction of this particular group. We studied 48 options. 2 or 3 were related to the TRE line. One option was to elevate high-speed rail above the TRE line as well as at grade. The at-grade option doesn't reach anywhere close to the speeds because of the number of at-grade crossings. City of Irving has a resolution not supporting an elevated section for a whole bunch of other reasons that we can get into a workshop. High-speed rail between Dallas and Fort Worth is so far superior than the 65 minutes it takes to take TRE. We don't even lose ridership on the TRE line when we build high-speed rail. So this has been answered. Best to be put into some other presentation, not really germane to the item that we have here today. But I think we have answers to the 7 issues that were raised in at least 8 or 10 previous presentations on the subject. And if given the time, we can come back and walk through these one by one with regard to those particular items.
I personally don't need you to walk through them one by one. I think I have a understanding on what we're doing. I make a motion to approve this as it is today, with the understanding that this is a regional body and we work together for regional projects, and certainly high-speed rail from the 2 largest entities I would consider regional. And as we work through that, I'd be interested to see the final alignment, but I don't know that this right now, the final alignment, whether it be at grade or below grade, should stop us from moving forward and exploring this and keeping it on track, pun intended.
I'll second the motion.
We do have more discussion, and as a courtesy to the speakers who wish to speak, I'd like to hear the rest of them, but your motion and your second will be noted. Joel, is that your mic or next to you? Okay.
It's West, Chad West from Dallas. Yeah, and I think this is germane to either the before the motion or after. I appreciate my colleagues' passion for this item. I share it for the Dallas portion, certainly. I don't see this as the Hunt consolidated issue. This is a City of Dallas issue. As the train comes in to our downtown, we're investing, as Kara said, billions of dollars with making placemaking in our city for walkability, for new development, for new jobs. And it's so important for us to look at all options, the underground option and a different alignment option, because the only alignment that I've seen that's actually come to council that we've looked at unless I missed something, is one that just literally cuts through a lot of our developable land in downtown. So I'll support the item, certainly, as long as, from what I'm hearing from you, Mr. Morris, is that we can still look at those options by approving this today. And for us to do that, we actually do have to approve this item today, right?
That's the ironic nature of the conversation thus far.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Mr. Porter, is that you, Doctor? Go for it.
It's me, Teresa Daniel from Dallas County. And I too appreciate the thoughts, but I have the esteemed council member from the city of Dallas, but just had essentially from this conversation and what's been presented so far, what I'm understanding is that what we have before us today is one step towards this larger project, which has a number of items that have been discussed in the past and are in various stages of reaching some kind of agreement or settlement in what's going to happen. Is that a legitimate
Yes,
assessment?
Commissioner, we think the best way into downtown Fort Worth is in a tunnel. We think the best way to avoid the 360 and 161 interchanges is in a tunnel. And hearing we may get a request from somebody someday about a tunnel in Dallas. Staff is requesting technical assistance to get tunneling experts to be able to respond to community needs with regard to advancing this project, hopefully one day into an environmental.
So I double second it.
And there's another light over here. Was that Basilduo? Yes.
Thank you. Adam Basilduo for City of Dallas. I just wanted to piggyback on something that has already been said, but I do think it's important to express that Dallas is excited about this project. We want to be a regional partner. This is something that I think is going to be beneficial for all of our jurisdictions and the region as a whole. It is important to note, I know it's been said by Mr. Morris and my colleague, but this, although the Hunts have an opinion, this is not advocacy for the Hunts. We are in the middle of master planning for multi-billion-dollar investment in downtown Dallas, and I think it's important for us to make sure that this project, regardless of what's gone into it up to this point, is something that's going to be most feasible for all cities involved. And so I do think that it's important to stress, in the interest of fiscal responsibility, that we are going to be investing in studies to get by approving this item, which I of course support. But I also think it's important for this body to understand that you will be getting a formal request from the City of Dallas, and that there will be probably a pretty uphill battle for the City of Dallas to accept anything that doesn't include going below grade. And I think that it's important for everyone here to understand that. I think that this is, of course, the right step for us to get there. But going forward, I hope that there is a clear expectation set from this body that the City of Dallas will reject anything that doesn't comply with what it is that's going to be most effective for the development that we're looking for in the future.
I would just ask you respectfully to keep an open mind to hear the answers both previously and in the future with regard to your vision, since a lot of the work to date is trying to implement the vision that you're actually requested. But the best way to move forward, and I apologize if I keep saying the Hunts, to date, in 3.5 years, the only person that's asked me to look at a tunnel officially is in a meeting with the Hunts. So, and that's been in 4 or 5 meetings. And I said, I'm more than happy to look at it. All you got to do is send me a request. So if there are other people that wish it to be requested, I'm more than happy to hear it. But that's exactly why the item is before you today, because we anticipate a request with regard to a tunnel in Dallas. We already know the best way to avoid the interchanges in Arlington after 2 years of engineering is a tunnel. And we know the best way to get into downtown after looking at 20 options in downtown in Fort Worth is a tunnel. So if the City of Dallas wishes to have a tunnel, at least in the zillions of meetings we've had to date, it hasn't come up. Please ask us. And if you approve this item, we will actually have the best and the brightest people in the world to be able to answer your particular question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Morrison. I just want to provide context that when these conversations started and when this process started, a new convention center was nothing but a pipe dream for our city. We had the Breimer bill that went to the voters, and funding mechanism that afforded us this opportunity. So a lot has changed from the inception to where we are now, and I think that that's why it's important for us to make this
In my 30 meetings on Interstate 30, with the redo of Interstate 30 and the convention center, not one time has the convention center individuals not been fully supportive of a high-speed rail investment that is involved with your particular convention center and with the high-speed rail. So if the convention center people are nervous, in 30 meetings, it has never been shared with me.
Thank you. For the sake of transparency, Michael, I think everyone needs to be able to define the city of Dallas should communicate. Is that to be, for it to be acceptable, would that be a resolution voted on by the
No, it
Dallas
doesn't have to
Council?
be a formal resolution. I just need a request from someone, city manager, the mayor's office, a council member, a developer, a citizen, and anybody that shows interest. I am already moving in that particular direction, expecting it. That's why staff put it on the agenda today.
Thank you, sir. Any further discussion? Oh, I see your light, Kara.
I'll just say, I'm not opposed to this amendment, this item at all. I'm supportive of this item. And in fact, you heard me saying, do you need more money? Which apparently you can't have, but of course there can always be a supplemental contract. The point is only that I'm not sure that everybody understands where the city of Dallas is, at least elected officials. All three of us were elected in 2019. The most of our council has not been here for this discussion. And you know what you went through with 345, and I'm trying to avoid it. And so,
And believe me, I'm trying to avoid it also by putting an agenda
Thank you.
on here to get the assistance necessary to answer the question.
okay, well, I'm certain you'll have a letter or two in your mailbox. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, I'm going to call for the vote. Mayor Dunn, was your light on to speak?
I changed my mind. Sometimes it's best just to keep my mouth shut.
I'll second that motion. Although I do appreciate your candor.
Y'all know
But
what?
I think y'all can read my mind, so I'm just going to be quiet.
Think
And
about
I
the-
still love Dallas, by the way. Put that up there. I still love y'all.
For this amendment.
I'm going to vote for this daggum amendment.
Thank
And
you.
as long as they don't request it undergrade and complain about Arlington again, I'm happy.
Oh, they may do that.
Oh, okay. Not
This-
they. You.
I've turned into a spectator. What a way to start this meeting off. There's a motion on the floor. There's a second on the floor. No more discussion. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right then. And with that, we have approval. And so now we go into the